Good evening, everybody. I hope you are all well. Welcome to episode 88 of the 72 review. And there's only 6 of the 72 to review this weekend. Not many games across the EFL, but we are going to be looking at the FA Cup third round games as well. So stick with us. We're going to start in the EFL. We're going to cover League One with Rotherham. We're going to go to League Two with Walsall's game and Swindon's game. And then we'll go on to the FA Cup. It's just myself and Ian so far tonight. Jake is going to be joining us later, hopefully. But yeah, if you don't know Ian already, Ian, introduce yourself, let people know who you are, what you do, and why you do it.
I know. I'm Ian, a 62-year-old Rotherham season ticket holder. Quite a disloyal one, actually, because I missed a home win yesterday, which I'm a bit gutted about, actually. But I had the opportunity to take in a ground that I hadn't been on before, and that's the G-Tech Stadium in Brentford. So I went to the Brentford-Plymouth FA Cup tie, which I believe is the only real giant killing of the third round. But Plymouth deservedly won, and I've really enjoyed my day out in London. It was great. But I do feel a little bit disloyal that I missed a home game, especially a home win. If we'd have lost, I wouldn't have cared anymore, really.
Don't worry about it too much. You've had a good day out anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So I will get the scores for all of the FA Cup third round and the EFL ticking across the bottom. And we will start in, like I say, in League One with Rotherham. Ian, you said that you've watched the extended highlights, so you know a little bit about what you're on about. And it's a shame Jake's not here, because the Klaxon would be getting some hammer at the minute, because Malik Wilkes and Reece James, both ex-Wednesday, ex-Donny players, started off really well, didn't
they? Yeah. I mean, I've left my banner at the bottom. It may be coming together. It seems like it is doing, because it sounded like a really comprehensive win. I think the stats. Can you just put the stats up a little bit more, sorry? There you go. I mean, yeah, and it looks like an entertaining game, but 20 shots, 7 on target. That's a decent return. Bolton had the share of chances as well, but the goals were pretty good. I mean, there were a little bit of a debate about Santos bringing Wilkes down for the first penalty. I think there is a train of thought that thought he got the ball. But if you're challenging somebody from behind, you're taking a risk.
Yeah.
The referee seemed to give a corner, seemed to rule it out, but the linesman actually was in his ear, in his earpiece to the referee. And it was the linesman that decided that the penalty should be given. Wilkes sticks it away well. And then just before half-time, a lovely left foot strike by Reece James. Ball bounced about in the area. It hit Cameron Humphreys from an attempted clearance, and James stuck it away really well. So going in 2-0 up, and like I said, I've watched the extended highlights, and the Bolton fans, they really, really want rid of Ian Evatt. We want Evatt out. And second half, rather than sit on a 2-goal lead, I think Rotherham went for more. A couple of good saves from the Bolton keeper. And then Wilkes got free again, hit a shot, the keeper parried it, and Sam Nombe followed it in for 3-0. And then they switched off a little bit towards the end, and Dion Charles, who earlier missed a real sitter, put McAtee through to finish well, and so at least Bolton got on the score sheet. But form-wise, I think we're doing pretty well at the moment. There's last 3 games: a win at Lincoln, a draw at Huddersfield, and a victory against Bolton. 3 of the clubs that you would expect to be up there. So
certainly
and we've got a home game next Saturday to Charlton Athletic, who are another team that are pretty well fancied. So who knows? I'm hoping this run continues.
Yeah, John said, hello, gents, congrats on the FA Cup win to Donny and myself. Rotherham are on a little unbeaten run. And like you just said, Ian, they are starting to put a run together. As always, get your comments in. It does drive conversation. I'll have a quick skirt through the comments. We've got Mark, good win for Donny today, and we've got Palace at home in the 4th round. a lot of League One games were off. I think it was only Rotherham played. And then ATID's coming. If Carlsberg did weekends, thought Bolton got promoted to the Championship after winning the Pizza Cup. Absolute whoppers. Yeah, they're not doing too well, are they? Rotherham were the only game played in League One. We'll have a quick look at the table, see what that fixture and that result did. So
it's put us up.
Where are you?
Put us up from 16th to 13th, 3 places, and now we're virtually where I hoped we'd be. We're virtually mid-table.
Yeah. 13th, 8 wins, 7 draws, 9 defeats, 24 scored, 24 conceded. You're about as mid-table as you're going to get, aren't you?
Yeah, and a 0 goal difference as well.
Yeah. That victory did pull you closer to Bolton, obviously. They're in 10th at the minute on 37, so it has just closed that gap. And
we're only a point behind Lincoln with a game in hand.
Yeah. So not a bad couple of weeks for Rotherham. ATID just finish above the Grecians, Ian.
Well,
Looking towards the top of the table, Birmingham still there, Wickham still in second, Wrexham, Huddersfield, Barnsley and Reading make up the playoffs. So, decent weekend for Rotherham.
Yeah.
On to League Two. Walsall still absolutely flying, aren't they? And this is a real statement to the division.
It is.
Tranmere didn't look particularly great against Donny a couple of weeks back. We beat them 3-1 at our place, and they look really poor. And Walsall have put them to the sword in this one. Real kind of routine win, isn't it? And Walsall, I didn't expect them to be flying this season. I thought they'd kind of be knocking on the door of playoffs, but I mean, I think this has put them 15 points clear of Donny.
Is it 15? Yeah. Good Lord. I mean, at this stage of the season, that's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah. Nathan Law on the score sheet again.
Yeah. Oh, he's been a cheat code, hasn't he, that lad? He's only young as well.
Yeah.
I mean, the stats say it all, don't it? The stats say it all.
Yeah, it's not looking good for Tranmere at the minute, but it's looking very, very good for Walsall. And the other game played in League Two, Swindon versus Crewe, took ages to get going. The referee wanted to start it. He started it, and then 4 minutes in, he stopped it because of visibility. But I think credit has to be given to the officials. They didn't just call it off. They tried their hardest to get it on. The game did go ahead at 4 o'clock, I believe. But unfortunately for the Swindon Town fans and the Crewe fans standing in the cold, they've got nothing to cheer about after waiting for the game to start and get going. And I mean, Swindon chucked everything at it, didn't they? But a poor return in terms of shots on target.
I think the thing is, I mean, Swindon will be more pleased with a point to keep them out of the trapdoor, really. So it's a positive point from Ian Holloway's point of view.
Yeah.
Crewe, it's a point nearer where they want to be. So I think both teams will be reasonably happy with it.
Yeah, I think, like you say, Swindon would probably be the happier of the two camps, getting the draw against a team that are kind of in and around the right area of the table. But after waiting for an hour for the game to kick off, you'd be fuming, wouldn't you?
No,
not to see a goal.
I agree with you though. Full marks to the officials for getting the actual game played.
So what that has done to the table, obviously Crewe still in second, 43 points. Walsall top, running away with it at this point, 55 points. And like I say, that puts them 15 points ahead of Donny, with a game to play as well. So that could be 18 points. And in incredible form. Not lost a game in the last 5. Hopefully Salford's hammering at Manchester City knocks their confidence and filters through onto their league form, but we will see what happens with that.
They're not going to be playing City every week, are they?
No, not until next season anyway, maybe. ATID's just come in. We need to talk about our badly Prem bias. The dick with the whistle was today for Spurs. Tamworth absolutely robbed. Yes, they were. But before we go to Tamworth, I think we go back to Ian. You went to the G-Tech to watch ATID's team, Plymouth. I asked before we went live, did you end up meeting ATID? And unfortunately, you didn't. It will happen one day, I'm sure.
I'm sure it will. I seem to watch a lot of Argyle away games. I were at Derby earlier this season.
But yeah, ATID, come in the chat. Tell us what you think about this result while Ian's talking about his experience from yesterday and his thoughts on both Brentford and Plymouth. And I think you've got a word to say about the Plymouth fans as well, Ian.
Oh, the Plymouth fans were absolutely out of this world. They never stopped singing from getting in the ground to me going home at full time. They were superb, and they thoroughly deserve this win. I mean, yeah, the stats are a little bit heavily in favour of Brentford. 72% possession, but what good is possession when they don't do a great deal with it? They had a couple of good snapshots in the first half, Brentford, well saved by the Argyle keeper, but also Wright had a good effort saved by the Brentford keeper in the first half, and sporadically they started to look more and more dangerous. Second half, I think Brentford went into the shell a little bit. I don't know whether it was complacency or good Plymouth defending, but there just didn't seem to be anything of a threat second half, really. Even when they brought Belmore and Wisser on, that didn't really have much effect. And Morgan Whittaker, what a goal that was. I mean, you can blame the Brentford defence for letting him run with the ball, but what a finish. Left foot finish, arrowed straight past the keeper. And to be honest, after that, I expected the Alamo from Brentford and didn't really get it at all. It was as though they were resigned to defeat, and it was completely deserved by Argyle. Completely.
Yeah. HID said that did well. I did as well in the end. Honestly, I cried with tears of joy. Brentford, absolute pony, League One at best. How they have the best home record in Europe, I do not know. And honestly, second best away end has been in after Port Vale when we won the league.
Yeah, the limbs were incredible when that goal went in. The limbs were incredible.
Yeah, and apparently it was the first away win since 1742 for Argyle.
I think the last
been
away
a while,
win,
hasn't it?
I think that Argyle's last away win were at New York Stadium back at the back end of last season, if I'm not too mistaken.
You have to let us know, HID.
Yeah, you'll probably be able to tell me. But yeah,
1742 is a bit of a push.
Lovely little stadium. It's obviously small for Premier League, but facilities-wise, it's top notch. Absolute top notch.
You were spot on, Ian. It was against Rotherham in April. That was their last away win. So yeah, good timing to get another away win for sure.
Yeah,
I'm not sure who Plymouth got.
Like I said, thoroughly deserved. And I've done a vlog on it, so get onto YouTube and watch me vlog because I enjoyed it, and I hope it comes through on the vlog.
And that is linked in the description down below.
Thank you very much.
Check Ian's channel out. Yeah, and they've got the reward for a fantastic away win with getting Liverpool at home.
Deserved.
Yeah, hopefully it's another giant killing because I want to see lower league clubs beating Premier League teams for sure.
It doesn't matter whether they get battered. I mean, home park will be full to busting. TV, that'll definitely be televised. So it's a win-win for Plymouth, whatever happens.
Yeah, it is indeed. I think we'll go to Liverpool next. Plymouth's next opponents in the FA Cup. And it was, well, I was going to say it was a routine win at 4-0, but I don't know if you managed to watch any of this, Ian.
I didn't watch any of it, to be honest, Dan.
I thought Accrington really gave a good account of themselves. I think at 2-0, they had a couple of opportunities to get back into the game. I mean, obviously, possession-wise and stuff, it's where you'd expect it to be. Shots at goal on target, again, you'd expect it where exactly where it is. But I just felt there was moments where Accrington pushed at 2-0 down and had a couple of opportunities to get back into it. And then as soon as Jayden Dan scored on 76, that was real game over. And
Chiesa, but they can be proud of
put the cherry on top of the cake. So I think it looks more of a routine win than it was. But I think Accrington really gave a good account of the Sens in this one.
And also, they'll have earned a fortune from that, which I think is brilliant. Especially a club the size of Aki that haven't got two halfpennies to scrub together. That should keep them going for the rest of this season anyway. Yeah, well done, Aki.
Definitely. ATID has come in and said that it's probably going to be, well, it's more than likely going to be Sunday, Plymouth versus Liverpool, as Liverpool have got Spurs on Thursday. So, yeah, it's going to be Sunday or possibly Monday, because they do tend to go over the full weekend, don't they?
I hope for Argyle's sake it's Sunday.
Yeah.
Because and not Monday night. Although, does it really matter? Because it's going to be televised in any case, so it doesn't really matter when it is.
Yeah, and I think it'll be a full house as well.
Oh, obviously,
irrespective of the day that it gets put on. Another one of our teams in the 72 to take on Premiership opposition was Morecambe, heading to Chelsea, and this one was probably more of a routine win than the Liverpool one. It looked real comfortable for Chelsea throughout the game, didn't it?
It did. But again, it's another good payday for Morecambe.
Yeah.
But 4 shots on target at Chelsea is not bad going, really.
No.
I mean, even less possession there, 18% possession.
Yeah, they've been chasing shadows for 90 minutes, haven't they?
Yeah. Still, it's a good experience for the players and a good payday for them.
Yeah, and I think this is it with the FA Cup. I think for the lower league players and the lower league teams, it's a chance to go to a Premier League ground playing against Premier League opposition, similar to the Carabao Cup. I mean, Donny have been lucky to get Everton in that this season, and then play against championship opposition today, and it kind of puts you to the test, doesn't it? And for me, it's part of the magic of the FA Cup. And talking about magic of the FA Cup, I think we've been kind of, what's the word, robbed of a moment of magic for Tamworth. FA Cup replays, Ian. What's your thought on it?
My thoughts on it is that they're overprotective towards Premier League clubs. The poor little darlings, millionaires who don't want to get tired.
Yeah.
But Tamworth deserved another crack at Spurs, and they deserved to go to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, because today they were absolutely fantastic. And
I don't know how true it is, but I read after this that the fact that there's no replay for this, it's upwards of £1 million worth of revenue for Tamworth that they've missed out on, and that's a team that have an annual turnover of 1.6 million, I think it was. So it just shows that
money in it. Yeah,
it's massive for clubs at this level.
But
ATID
in the
says
90 minutes,
ref denied a free kick to Tamworth, then awarded one for Spurs 30 seconds later. Yeah, there seemed to be a Premier League bias, didn't there? But I think
I just wish that centre back had put his foot through the ball in the 90 whatever minute, and they'd have beaten them, because they deserve to beat them. Over 90 minutes. I mean, they were always going to run out of steam in extra time, unfortunately.
I think that's where it kind of leans towards the Premier League teams and even the Championship teams to a certain extent. If you get a Championship team against a non-league team, we'll see tomorrow against Millwall, against Dagenham and Redbridge potentially. If that goes on to extra time, the non-league team have put 100% effort in for 90 minutes and should be rewarded with a replay. But then the fitness will show with that extra 30 minutes, won't it? When you've got players that are just.
I mean,
this is their job, isn't it?
The commentator said Tamworth only train twice a week, don't they, on Tuesdays and Thursdays? I mean, whereas Spurs, 5 days.
Probably train twice a day.
Yeah, twice a day. Yeah.
I'm gonna say, I'm sure some footballers will probably do the normal training session in the morning or into early afternoon, and then probably have a gym session later on or something. So if they're doing that,
that's if they're not in bookies.
But yeah, it ended up turning out to be a relatively routine win for Tottenham as well, didn't it? When it went to extra time,
it did in extra time. Yeah, it did.
Yeah, but you look at the stats. I mean, You talk about possession, and it doesn't matter what you do with the possession that you've got, as long as you're utilising it. If you've got 22% possession and you're finding chances to get 13 shots off. Does it really matter if Spurs have got 78% of the ball? I really do think that they've been robbed of
that
payday, haven't they, in that replay?
Yeah.
But there we go. So another Premier League team through. On to Matt. Let's go on to my team. Let's go on to Donny.
Yeah.
So Ian, you said that there was a giant killing. This, I'm assuming, could be classed as a giant killing. There's 2 divisions between the 2 teams.
Yes, of course it could. Yeah.
There's potentially, well, we're potentially in the same division next season if we'll carry on playing as they are, and hopefully, fingers crossed, our consistency and form turns around a little bit. And I do think we've got enough in the squad to get promotion from League 2. So yeah, I mean, top 3 is certainly not out of reach. You can throw a blanket over 10, 11 teams in League 2 at the minute. But for me, coming up against Everton earlier in the season and Hull today, it shows that we have got quality within the squad. And I know the one-off games and players tend to up the performance levels when it comes to these sort of games. But on the radio, it sounded like we allowed Hull plenty of time on the ball. Obviously, some of the stats have not come through. I'm sure there was at least 1 pass in the game from one team.
Yeah, it's not Steve Evans.
Just had 1 player running around for 90 minutes. But yeah, it's saying that they had 60% of the possession and Donny had 40. Listening on the radio, that sounds about right. They had a lot of the ball. But we were soaking it up. We were trying to hit them quite high up the pitch, and defending from the front, and we seemed to kind of shake them a little bit. They had plenty of shots, but I don't remember the keeper having too much to do on either side, really. Either keeper didn't have too many saves to make.
Your keeper had a bit of a worldie, I've read reports of.
Yeah, later on in the game, in the first half, I think there was maybe one shot each towards goal. But I think Luke Molineux shows what he's capable of. Wonderful ball through to him. He managed to just kind of hold the defender off, and then calm under pressure. 1-on-1 with the keeper could easily fluff it. He has fluffed it a few times over the last couple of weeks in similar positions. But yeah, really calm and composed today. Slotted it in, and the noise from the away end was unreal. Fully sold out away end, which was nice to see. And then we just couldn't hold on. 10 minutes towards the end, Gustavo Puerta just kind of reacts quickest to a ball that's bounced off the post. And Sharman Lowe was unfortunate not to tip it around the post. He gets a hand to it, but just not a strong enough hand, unfortunately, and it snuck in. And then a relatively uneventful extra time where it seemed like neither team really wanted to commit and potentially do something to lose it. It went on to penalties, and Mark said that first time won a penalty shootout since last time, Dan. Yeah, well, yeah, that's how it tends to happen. I think we've lost 2 shootouts. I think this season and last. We obviously lost against Crewe in the playoffs, and then I think we lost a shootout against Man United in the Bristol Street Motors Trophy, or the Virtu Trophy, whatever it is now. So yeah, when it went to penalties, I wasn't confident. I put it in the 72 review chat that it's never been our strongest point. And then Ironside missed the first penalty, and I just felt, here we go.
Here we go again.
yeah, here we go again. But the calmness and the composure under pressure from all the remaining penalty takers was fantastic to see. Hull City missed their final penalty, which gave us an opportunity to get back into it. And then the first set of penalties in the sudden death, Teddy Sharman Lowe pulls off a really good save. And then Clifton just slots it home and sees us in the 4th round, which we've got rewarded with a home tie against Crystal Palace, which wasn't the tie that I wanted. But I think it's one that could be a little bit of a money spinner. And we played them 5 years ago, got beat 2-0. So there's a bit of revenge there to be taken as well. And that was the last time Grant McCann was here as well. That was in the 5th round, which is the furthest we've been since, I think, the early late 50s, something like that. So yeah, there's a little bit of a story there with Donny versus Palace. So I'm happy with that draw. I wanted Spurs away. That would have been.
But you could have got Exeter away.
Yeah, yeah. The top of the list was Spurs away. The bottom of the list was probably Exeter away. So to get Palace at home, I think it's an happy medium, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mark's also said any Rovers fans watching this, Chesterfield would have been the game that weekend. So obviously no tickets on sale on Monday morning for those. If you're thinking about going and buying them, progression in the FA Cup means that the trip to North Derbyshire has been
but when it is played, it'll be a cracker. Under the lights, Tuesday night, probably in February, it'll be a cracker, that one.
Yeah, definitely. I think because I've mentioned Exeter, ATID St Paul Forest, and he's not very don't look very well.
I don't think this game as well. Exeter very much.
No, this game as well. It gave Grant McCann an opportunity to kind of get one over on his old team as well, which he did, and we did last season as well. So yeah, positive Sunday.
Well, that's right. You beat them in Carabao last season, didn't you?
Yeah, a bit of a bogey team for them at the minute, which is nice. The big winner from this weekend, though, was Manchester City. I don't know if you watched any of this, Ian, last night.
I watched the goals, and some of the goals were laughable. I mean, some of the penalties that were given away, it just Salford, to say that they're well up in League Two, they just look like a pub team, didn't they? Although City have got the ability, even with not a full team, to make teams like that look like pub teams. I mean, I can remember probably about 5 or 6 years ago when we were in the Championship, we went to the Etihad, and Man City put 7 past us. And
did that finish 7-1?
Really 7-0.
7-0.
It was 7-0, and it were without even breaking sweat, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it weren't a first Man City team, but if you've got Grealish, you've got Doku, they're all international footballers, or the majority of them were.
Yeah.
So yeah.
HID said it was nice for Man City to score as many goals as Salford had fans.
That's very true, yeah.
But yeah, Man City put quite a few kids out, didn't they, really? But it turned out to be men versus boys, and Salford. I think they'll look at that and be disappointed. I know Man City, they're incredible, and they'll tear you to pieces if you allow them. But I just felt like there was a couple of half chances. Adelaide played a few good balls in, and they didn't quite make enough of them. I think for me, if we draw Man City at home, we've got to get past Palace first. If we were to play Man City at the Etihad, all I'd want is us to go and take the game to them a little bit and put them under pressure, make them check a bit, and just put on a good counter.
Score a goal there, it'd be incredible, wouldn't it? To actually score a goal there, it'd be incredible.
Yeah, but like I say, I'm hoping from a league point of view, it doesn't matter what level of football you play at, and if you're looking thinking we'll be lucky to keep this under double figures. Any professional footballer that gets 8 put past them, it's got to knock your confidence, hasn't it?
It does, yeah.
So hopefully it does from a Rovers point of view, and it does have a negative effect on Salford's incredible league form at the minute, and it gives us a chance to catch them up, because we need something, and hopefully getting smashed 8-0 by Man City is the catalyst to Salford's starting to have a bit of a dip in the league. But yeah, Man City potentially back to the best, or is it something that you're not really going to look too much into in this one?
You can't really gauge this game as that. I mean, the league form's been patchy. I don't think they've got enough to even rival Liverpool for the Premier League title. I think they're too far behind now. I think they probably will get top 3, because I think this run can't last forever. This poor run can't last forever. There's too much quality there. But I think they've left themselves with far too much to do. And it'll make a change to see somebody other than Manchester City winning the league title, to be honest with you. It's going to be nice, boring. Yeah.
You mentioned there on about getting a goal at a big team, and Bromley today managed to get that feeling of euphoria 8 minutes in with
good
Cameron
finish
Congreve.
as well. Very good
decent finish, wasn't it? It was short-lived, only 8 minutes. Newcastle got straight back into it and then ran out 3-1 winners. But again, it'd be one of those where you think, right, we're going to St James's Park. This is going to be, we're going to have to put absolutely everything to come out with anything today. So to put them on the back foot, and get that first goal, I think you'd be proud as a fan, wouldn't you?
Of course you would. Of course you would. I mean, it's a hell of a trip up there from, I think it's South London, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And it's a hell of a trip. They probably haven't got home yet.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, Newcastle, a fine team, good team. I mean, they proved that midweek when they tore Arsenal a new one, really.
Yeah.
And, yeah, there were some kids in the lineup from Newcastle. But it just shows you how strong the squad is and what Eddie Howe's building up there. But Bromley, they can take a lot of encouragement from that. And
I mean, stats wise, it's not great for them, is it? 3 shots, 1 on target, 18%. That probably came in that first 8 minutes.
But
then after that, Newcastle have kind of controlled it.
Yeah, but the players will have learned a lot from that, from playing against Premier League opposition, and also they'll have made quite a bit of money out of that because I think it were over 50,000 attendance.
Yeah, and that ultimately is what the FA Cup boils down to for the smaller teams. There is that romance of the cup and that potential of getting that cup upset and kind of that magic of getting a decent cup run. But it's the bottom line, isn't it? It's getting that big tie so that you can earn a bit of money from it.
Yeah. Same with Harrogate at Leeds. I mean, Leeds, they only won 1-0, didn't they? I would expect Harrogate to expect a bit of a drubbing there, but they held out till 59th minute, which is admirable.
Yeah, and again, we're seeing quite the pattern with the stats for League Two teams. We've allowed the possession to go to the Championship or Premiership teams. You can have the ball, you run around with it, you play with it, and we'll see if we can hit you on the counter. I think that's been kind of the go-to tactic from lower league clubs to try and navigate the way through to the fourth round, isn't it?
Yeah, but having said that, it looked like they put a decent show up. 5 shots, 2 on target at Ellen Road. I mean, it's a local derby, isn't it? Leeds Harrogate, really. So
it is.
Hopefully there'll be a full house there and Harrogate can earn a bit of money from it. But it's a performance that they can be proud of.
And talking about money, ATID is coming with Tamworth charged £42 for adults and £39 for kids today.
That was naughty.
Yeah, but we were talking about this before we went live here, weren't we? And we're having a chat about replays and the fact that Tamworth have missed best part of £1 million from earning that replay. I don't think Tamworth would charge them kind of figures if there was the potential of a replay to be had. And I think what they've done is capitalise on an opportunity.
Yeah,
there were plenty of people in the stands today. I think it's scandalous that they're charging that kind of money for a game like that. But at the same time, how often does it come around that Tamworth will play a Premier League team at home? And I think as a fan, you probably look at that.
I think ATID will agree with me. They got their prices for the Brentford Plymouth game absolutely superb. £15 for adults and £10 for concessions. At a Premier League stadium, that were pretty damn good.
Yeah, it is. Certainly can't grumble at them prices.
No, you can't.
And he says incredible.
Yeah.
So he was happy with the prices as well.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's a bigger conversation, isn't it? That hopefully this football regulator will start to introduce and have kind of ticket price caps and stuff.
I'm hoping they do.
Yeah, you don't want to devalue the product, but at the same time, you can't be rinsing every penny out of fans because we'll end up losing the game.
I mean, I think it was a good step forward when they capped the price for away supporters a few years ago in the Premier League. I think that was a good a good move.
Yeah.
You know, it was 30. You capped it at 30 quid, don't they?
Yeah.
But some of these clubs that are absolutely not only in the Premier League but even in the Championship, they're absolutely rinsing their own supporters.
Yeah.
You know, 40, 50, 60 quid for their own supporters. That's just naughty, and it's got to be stopped.
Yeah. It is.
Because with
It is
TV
indeed.
revenue alone, some clubs could turn a profit.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
I mean, that's why clubs such as Brentford and Bournemouth survive in the top league, because they get the equal TV rights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, they might. I mean, Bournemouth only get like 11,000 every home game, but they've got all the add-ons, the TV money, the rich owners and whatnot. And
makes it a bit easier, doesn't it?
It should be a little. Yeah, I think it. Yeah, 38 quid. That's horrible. That's awful. That.
Yeah. Mark agrees as well. Definitely needs a cap on FA Cup. Some clubs overcharging fans for it. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not on. Any other FA Cup games that jumped out to you this weekend, Ian? I'm not sure if Jake's going to come on, so we will touch on Sheffield Wednesday Coventry for him.
There were a little bit of a surprise with Stoke turning Sunderland over. I didn't expect that at all.
No.
It depends on Sunderland might just be more focused on the league because they're well up in the league.
Yeah.
But that was a cracking win, that extra time win. But I didn't expect Stoke to go up to the Stadium of Light and win.
No. Could do with having Jake here as well, because there'll be another klaxon for Niall Ennis, ex-Donny Rovers player. Yeah. So always nice seeing ex-players scoring. Obviously not when they come back to haunt you, but yeah.
Seems a bit more even, this one, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, some ATID Sunderland only have 5,000 people for a home game. Yeah, there was a few games this weekend that really didn't capture the magic of the FA Cup.
I mean, the one at Bramall Lane.
Yeah.
On Thursday night, just over 6,000 there.
Yeah, it's not great, is it?
Mind you, the side that Sheffield United put out and the side that Cardiff put out, it was like a reserve game.
Yeah, it was. Weren't great for the for watching on the TV either. I got bored watching it.
Yeah.
Leicester 6, QPR 2, probably one of the better games of the weekend in terms of like cup entertainment, proper cup tie, wasn't it?
Well, Leicester needed something to boost their confidence, didn't they? Because they've been dropping like a stone in the Premier League. And QPR have been on quite a decent run, but in the Championship. But yeah.
Different ball game, Championship to Premier League, isn't it?
It is a different ball game, yeah. But for the neutral, 6-2, cracking game.
Yeah. And there's some efficiency with the shots as well, isn't there? 6 shots on target, 6 goals for Leicester, 3 for QPR with 2 goals.
Yeah.
So target practice certainly isn't needed in Leicester or at QPR.
Yeah.
And we will touch on Sheffield Wednesday, their trip to Coventry. I'm not sure. I've not seen Jake pop in or drop out, so we will cover the Owls for him. It was one of them games, weren't it? Where
one of them things, isn't it?
The penalty
shootout. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was great to see them equalise late on to take it through to extra time and penalties. It probably was something that neither team really needed. I think Wednesday's focus will be on the league.
Yeah, which they're doing pretty well.
ATID, it really is a different ball game, or is it really a different ball game? We beat the best home team in Europe yesterday, so yeah, maybe it's not.
It's nice to see ATID so upbeat. It's just not.
Yeah,
just not him, is it? Really?
It's been a while coming, hasn't it? For sure. Yeah. Surprising what a win can do to people's morale, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think for me, this game screamed as one that neither team really wanted or were that bothered about. Probably
it's sad,
focusing.
Really.
It's because usually they're getting pumped 8-0.
Yeah.
But yeah, both Coventry and Wednesday, probably their primary focus will be the Championship, the league, and this is just an unwanted distraction, really, isn't it? And I don't think either team will have wanted extra time. They got it. They got it, and it went through to penalties. And unfortunately for Wednesday, they find themselves on the losing end after a 4-3 defeat on the shootout. So that's the end of their FA Cup run. But they're well positioned in the league.
The only team that's carrying South Yorkshire colours in the FA Cup is Doncaster Rovers.
Get in, yeah. Because when did you guys go out? Last round?
First round.
Against
3-1 against Cheltenham.
Did you have Morecambe in Carabao?
Yeah.
So Cheltenham in first round. We've had Barrow, Kettering, and Hull. So obviously Sheffield United went out Thursday night. Chesterfield, I think they might have gone out last round or round before. Barnsley, maybe first round, I think.
Round, Bristol Rovers.
So flying the flag for South Yorkshire, which is very nice. Hopefully we're flying it through into round 5. And looking at the fixtures, we've got Millwall versus Dagenham and Redbridge tomorrow. Dagenham and Redbridge are the lowest ranked team in the FA Cup remaining, and I think they'll probably get knocked out tomorrow. Or you'd probably put money on it if you're a betting man. So we could well be the lowest ranked team remaining in the FA Cup. So hopefully, we get revenge over Palace and we're through to the 5th round, and then see who we can get.
You'll be the only League Two team left.
Yeah, because a couple of League One teams, obviously there's a fair few Championship teams still remaining, isn't there? And then obviously the rest of the Prem. Lovely stuff.
As always.
Yeah. Is there any other games that you want to touch on, mate, before we have a look at the Fantasy EFL?
No, I think we've virtually covered most of them. The others were pretty, how can I put it, easy to predict. Palace, Ipswich, Southampton.
Yeah.
I think we've more or less done the FA Cup to death, haven't we, really?
Lovely
that was
stuff.
A good result, though. That was a good result. Exeter turning a Championship side over.
ATID will disagree. But no, it was a good result if you're looking at league positions. Obviously, Exeter in League One, Oxford in the Championship. So to turn them over 3-1, very good result.
Yeah.
So although there wasn't many games played in the EFL, there was still the fantasy EFL to look at. I changed my team numerous times last week.
Yeah, and it worked for you. It worked for you, didn't it, Dan?
Yeah, I still ended up with players that have not played, though, frustratingly.
Yeah.
Didn't get I can't remember who I had now.
50 points is a damn good result. I only got the 7, but most of my players are playing for Championship clubs in midweek.
Yeah, you've just got your 7 for Walsall.
For Walsall, yeah.
But I mean, Kyle did well, 70 points. Still got a player to play. I'm guessing that'll be midweek. But he's done well there, getting Swindon, Crewe, Walsall players in, captained low as well, which is always a good thing to do. I think maybe Kyle Uglin FC were the biggest earner of points this week. Yes, they were. 70 points. Great return. And that's moved them up to 13th. Very tight in and around this area, though. Like you say, and you've got quite a few to play midweek, so expected to see you climb a little bit.
You're only 5 points behind me now.
Yeah. Catching you up. I did overtake you at one point, and then I had an absolute stinker one week, didn't I? Liz is up in 12th. Nathan Batchelor in 11th. Lee's in 10th, so not much movement at the minute. Obviously, Bailey still
Bailey's
top. Not far off 2,000 points now. Wow, that's some going.
Points. 200 points, nearly 200 points be in front of second.
Yeah, I think Bailey might be winning this one, don't you?
Possibly. It's not beyond the realm. I don't think we can get 300 points in a week.
No, no, unfortunately not, unless it's triple game week again. But I think there's only one of those, and that's at Christmas, isn't it?
Yeah.
So there we go. We've flown through this week, Ian. Obviously, only two of us, so nobody else kind of having anything to say, which is that extends the video a little bit. But yeah, only 3 games across the 72 to talk about. But then obviously FA Cup has been happening this weekend as well. So a decent weekend. I'm happy.
Back to a full week next weekend.
Yeah.
Full fixture list.
This has been a rarity. Rotherham winning and Donny winning on a weekend. So it's not really been a therapy session, has it? We've been quite happy.
No,
and
we've enjoyed it
as well. HID being happy with the win.
Yeah. These are rarities. It's one of those weeks we can look back on when we're all depressed and we've all got hammered.
Yeah. These are the weeks that you've got to cherish as a football fan.
Correct.
Lovely stuff. Any final words, mate, before I round it off?
Well, like I said, it's been more of a celebration than a therapy session. Been thoroughly enjoyable, and we've got through it in less than 50 minutes, which isn't like us.
No,
but if you haven't got the games to talk about, you can't really do anything else. But I would urge anybody to have a look at my vlog from Brentford, because it was really enjoyable, and they've got a good setup there. So I hope you tune into that one.
Lovely stuff. Like I said earlier, it will be in the description down below. So go ahead and check Ian out. Subscribe to him if you haven't already. But yeah, like Ian says, we've done it in under 50 minutes. You can only talk about the games that have been played. I do like an FA Cup weekend because I haven't got Sky, I haven't got anything like that. I don't really watch enough telly to warrant it. So I don't end up watching football that much on TV unless it's kind of the highlight show or anything like that. So to have live football across BBC One and ITV,
it's good. It's really good.
Yeah, and I hope that continues for seasons to come, because there is something about watching live FA Cup on the telly. If you talk to Vickers, you might disagree.
I bet Jake's on next weekend, because there's Leeds against Wednesday next Sunday, and it's on ITV live from Ellen Road.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Yeah, they're putting Championship teams on
Wednesday.
There we go. We'll see if he's on. Well, we'll see what the scoreline is. He might not be on.
Yeah, true enough.
But no, that takes us to the end of episode 88. We will be doing a live a phone-in show on episode 90, so we'll get you guys involved so you can talk about your team and how you've done this season. So yeah, we'll be back next week, and then the weekend after we'll have that phone-in show and be able to talk a little bit about everybody's club a little bit more. But yeah, subscribe to myself if you haven't already. Subscribe to Ian. Go ahead and check him out. ATID Punk Chef 41 is in the description down below as well. Go ahead and check everybody out. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you're watching this throughout the week, stick a big thumbs up on it for us, please. Get your comments in the section down below. Join us next Sunday at 6:30 for episode 89. We hope you all have a fantastic week. Take care of yourselves, and we will see you in the next one.